16 Pros and Cons of Living in Kentucky. Kentucky is a fascinating and scenic state located in the southern United States. Many people have discovered this state's attributes and decided to call it home. This once mostly rural state has grown and thrived in many areas because of its appeal. This area is known for its breathtaking landscapes and charming residents. Anyone currently considering moving to Kentucky should explore the pros and cons of living in it and decide if it is the right place to settle. Please keep reading to learn more about Kentucky and what makes it incredible and the possible downsides. Pros of living in Kentucky. Kentucky is a beautiful state with many benefits for residents. Find out why it is rapidly becoming one of the most popular states to live in and raise a family. 1. Tax breaks. Most individuals who move to Kentucky enjoy various tax breaks. Most people qualify for these significant breaks, including older people over 65. This is a primary reason most people want to move to the area to retire. These tax breaks can save thousands each year and provide many a better way of life. Find out which tax breaks you're eligible for if you consider the move, because it may save you significant money each year. 2. Low cost of living. The cost of living in Kentucky is considerably lower than in most other states in the country. The cost of consumer goods and services is affordable for most, making it an excellent place to settle in a multiple-person household. Everything from energy to food is cheaper for all citizens of the state. If saving money for the future and having more financial stability is essential, the lower cost of living is quite attractive. It can help individuals achieve their goals in a scenic, friendly area. 3. Defined seasons. One bonus for those who enjoy having all 4 seasons is that there is a noticeable difference between them. The change in the seasons is noticeable and provides a great chance to engage in all activities related to being outside. The summers are warm and sunny, making them perfect for enjoying a day at the river or creek. The fall months are ideal for hiking and watching the colors change across the landscape. During the winter, frequent snow transforms the land into a winter lover's paradise. Spring is even colorful and picturesque, with new wildflowers and plants blooming everywhere. 4. Incredible landscape. Anyone who loves sweeping views and mountains will love the landscape of Kentucky. There are mountains, hills, valleys, and streams. It is ideal for outdoor activities and hiking. The different elevation levels also produce some exciting microclimates that change with the seasons. Anyone who wants a beautiful landscape just outside their door will love living in this state because there is something breathtaking in most places. 5. Centralized location. Kentucky is located conveniently in the center of the country and adjacent to many larger cities and thriving areas. Those who want to travel to places like Chicago or St. Louis can get there in a shorter time than people who live across the country, making traveling for events and meetings a much more affordable and time-efficient commute. 6. Affordable housing. One reason the cost of living is much better than in other areas is affordable housing options. Having affordable housing in most places means that families and new residents can find suitable housing that does not drain pockets. Take some time to check out some available housing options in and around the area you consider settling into before moving to Kentucky. 7. Plenty of jobs. There are plenty of jobs and a booming economy in most places across Kentucky. Individuals who move to the area can enjoy many employment opportunities if they do not already have a job lined up when they arrive. The available employment opportunities range from the technology sector to construction. This is one of the major draws to the area, aside from the lower cost of living and plentiful tax breaks. 8. Great food and drinks. Kentucky has incredible food and drinks, especially if you love barbecue and whiskey. Some of the best bourbon and whiskey in the world is made in Kentucky. Of course, plenty of classic country food is found just about anywhere in the state. Residents can find just about any food, local or international, these days across the state, making it an ideal place to enjoy a wide diversity of culinary choices. Cons of living in Kentucky. Kentucky has many attributes and benefits for residents. However, there are also some cons to know about before deciding to move there. Consider these drawbacks to help determine if it's ideal. 1. Lackluster education. Unfortunately, Kentucky has a history of low school performance, especially in the public elementary education sector. The school system lacks adequate funding and tends to score low for national testing. If education is a concern, Checking out the area's private schools may be an option because private schools tend to provide better educational opportunities and score higher on statewide testing. 2. Severe weather potential. There is always the threat of severe weather during any season in Kentucky. The winter tends to bring plenty of ice and snowstorms, while the summer and spring generate tornadoes, severe thunderstorms, and flooding. Before moving to Kentucky, it is important to understand the potential threats in the surrounding areas. Some precautions to take include buying a weather radio and having an evacuation plan in case severe weather strikes or there's a potential for dangerous conditions that can threaten lives and property. It is also worth understanding that anyone living in this area should have reliable insurance in place to protect themselves and their belongings. 3. Nuisance wildlife. Kentucky has plenty of wildlife, and many hunters enjoy visiting the area in certain months. However, hunting and the presence of larger wildlife can create a nuisance for residents. Bears, deer, and other animals can cause accidents or find their way into the yards of individuals living in the area. Encounters with wildlife are more frequent in rural areas. However, in Kentucky, it is not unheard of to see potentially dangerous wildlife in suburban areas. 4. Pollution in areas. There are areas of Kentucky with excessive pollution levels. Although this is not the case in most areas outside of cities, some suburbs in areas near the larger urban areas have issues with contaminated water, soil, and air. Before moving to Kentucky, take some time to investigate where pollution is a problem. 5. High sales tax. Kentucky has one of the highest sales tax rates of any state in the country. The average sales tax rate across the state is 5%, but some consumer goods may be higher. Although the sales tax may be a deterrent, other tax breaks and affordable services balance the sales tax. 6. High crime rate. High crime rates are an issue in larger cities throughout Kentucky. The #1 city for excessive crime is Paducah. However, it is not the only city with its share of criminal activity. The best strategy for those working in the city is to live on the outskirts, where the crime rate is lower and the quality of life is better. 7. Limited public transportation. Some states have comprehensive public transportation in place. However, Kentucky is not one of those states. There may be a service and other conveniences in the cities, but in the suburbs and the rural areas, finding public transportation can be an issue. Anyone moving to Kentucky will likely need to invest in a vehicle to get them where they need to go. If buying a vehicle is not possible, then it is worth taking the time to see if there is some public transportation in the area you are considering. 8. Infrastructure issues. Kentucky is not known for having the best roads and best neighborhood infrastructures. There are several areas with problems related to cities and towns' infrastructures. This may be one of the downsides to living in Kentucky, and it is worth learning more about any area you plan to live in or around.